You are America.
Unconstrained by habit
and convention. Unencumbered by what is.
Because you're ready to seize what ought to be.
For everywhere.
In this country,
there are first steps to be taken.
There is new ground to cover.
There are more bridges to be crossed.
America
is not the project of any
one person.
The single most
powerful word in
our democracy
is the word we. We.
We.
We.
We.
We, the people.
We shall overcome.
Yes, we can.
Sí se puede.
That word
is owned by no one.
It belongs to everyone.
Pertenece a todos.
Oh, what a glorious task we are given.
To continually
try to improve
this great nation of ours.
The Obama legacy, a call to inspire change. Words now forever inscribed in towering letters on the side of the Barack Obama Presidential Center here in Jackson Park on the city's south side. Good morning. It is so great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. The speech first given by the president at the 50th anniversary of the Selma marches and now the focal point for his legacy. This is the landscape for that change. 19 acres of sprawling walking paths, a vegetable garden, a basketball court, a recording studio, even picnic tables and barbecues, a space dedicated to inspiring the next generation.
There is so much to do here on this campus, and it's all for the most part free. Unless you want to get into the museum, then you do need a ticket and it will cost you. But we know there are some 3,000 people expected here today to gather in the John Lewis Plaza. We know we're already seeing some of the bigger names starting to enter now. We just saw former Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and we also saw Stephen
Colbert.
And there's word that David Letterman's here. Anyway, we'll continue to look around and see who else is on the way in right now as we speak.
We also are expecting a lot of big name performances. Jennifer Hudson, who we heard doing a sound check earlier, Bruce Springsteen, Christina Aguilera, to name just a few.
Yeah, I mean Bono, Stevie Wonder, I mean The Edge, John Legend. Oh, my goodness. This, like I said, a celebration, but the concert is ahead for sure.
Yes.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama and President Obama will also make remarks during the ceremony here today.
You can already feel the energy as so many guests are assembling here, both behind us and in an overflow on the other side. From here in Jackson Park to Hyde Park and beyond, we have a team bringing you all of the special coverage of the Obama Presidential Center opening.
We begin at the Midway Plaisance. That's where the crowd will gather away from this site, and it's going to be a big one. It's the official watch party, and our own Darius Johnson is there for us right now. Hi, Darius.
Hey, Joe and Erica, good morning to the both of you. It is a party here at the Midway Plaisance. So many people, tens of thousands of people have started to show up to gather for this joyous occasion. Some of these people grew up here, some of them just moved here, and some of them tell us that they have traveled from across the country just to be here and to be a part of a moment that they thought they would never see in life. Go ahead and take a look right now. This is the sprawling Midway Plaisance. It spans for several blocks now, and there are tens of thousands of people who are slowly making their way into this area. Take a look around. This place was quiet all morning long, and within the last hour, it has transformed into a celebration of people who are here to support this next chapter of the Obamas. Families are spread out across the lawn. You can hear the music playing in the background. So many old school jams that are playing, so many people sharing their stories and taking photos while they wait for the official opening of the Obama Presidential Center. For many people here, this is about more than a building. It's about seeing a community that helped shape a president now take its place on the world stage. This morning I had a chance to speak with a woman named Lana who just moved here from Kansas City, Missouri to the Hyde Park area. She is here with her family, and she was one of the first people to get in line at 6 a.m. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I live in Hyde Park, and what made me come is my beautiful daughter and my husband. I'm here with my sister and my brother, and we're excited. And I think the best part about this is the kids to see democracy in action, to see civic engagement, and just to celebrate presidents, right? Yes.
foundation leaders say the experience at the Presidential Center is honestly designed to look beyond one presidency, but Obama's personal journey in life, while encouraging visitors to see their own role in shaping the future. That is the key. People being able to see how far the Obamas have come, the change that they have made, and walk away from that facility knowing they can do the exact same. So again, we are less than an hour away from that official dedication ceremony beginning, and you can see the party is currently underway here at the Midway Plaisance. For now, I'm Darius Johnson, live here at the Midway Plaisance, just blocks from the Obama Presidential Center. I'm going to send things over to our very own Dorothy Tucker with a look at all the things happening where she is. Good morning, Dorothy.
Good morning. Well, the party continues here. I am live at the John Lewis Plaza, and if you take a look behind me, people are just now still kind of coming in, but all of these seats over here, about 500 or 600 people are filling these seats, and like, you know, Erica and Joe mentioned, people who are sitting here are kind of the celebrities. They're the national and the international dignitaries. A lot of politicians are sitting here as well, but let me take you around here because there are also people who are on the other side. Again, 500 or 600 people over there, but now you got to come over here. We can't go that far, but we can take you about to here, and we can show you there are many more seats that are out there where people are packed. Many of these people out here, they are what you call the stakeholders. These are some of the people who have been with the Obama family before he ever entered politics. They worked with him on the campaign. They were the stakeholders who allowed him and helped him to build this dream. And they not only are the CEOs and the local VIPs, they are also folks who literally live in the community, some of them right across the street.
I moved over here when this was just dust. And I moved over here 2 years ago when there were just steel cages. And this was nothing here. And to see what has come within 2 years now, I love it. I just love it all.
I'm thrilled to be here. I'm excited. You know, I was here before anything on this campus was here other than the football field. Like I said, proud graduate of Hyde Park High School. So just to see the change in the community is super dope.
People are emotional, Joe and Erica. I talked to them, and some of them can barely get the words out about how excited they are and how special they are, how special they feel to be here. Back to you.
All right, Dorothy, on the move, making her way through the VIPs. Thank you.
I don't know how you put together a guest list if you're the Obamas for an event like this. All of the people who have impacted their lives and have been a part of their early lives, their political careers, their time in the White House. I don't know how you get down to 3,000.
So many stages where I'm sure they made great connections. And I'm sure so many more people wanted to be here than there are seats.
I'm sure, yeah, no question about that. Well, let's talk a little bit about the centerpiece of the Obama Presidential Center. That is, of course,
by the way,
there's Rahm Emanuel.
Right
yeah, we
there.
told you he's here.
Yes.
The centerpiece, it's the focal point of the museum. It stands 225 feet tall, 8 stories.
Inside guests will experience Obama's journey from Michelle's childhood in Chicago to the president's political rise and the couple's time in the White House.
The willingness to speak out for what is right.
You hear his familiar voice before you see him.
To shake up the status quo.
Rising from the ground to the museum's second-floor entrance, President Barack Obama's message fills the room.
We are at a defining moment in our history.
But the first exhibits surrounding you are from American milestones that happened even before his time in office. The Declaration of Independence, the end of slavery, the fight for equal rights.
All of the major events that have happened in the history of our country. That then leads to the story of Michelle and Barack Obama and their lived experiences. And I think that what
John Roberson serves as the executive vice president of this new museum and every other element on this 19-acre campus.
And making sure that everyone who visits the Obama Presidential Center has an extraordinary once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It includes this massive digital wall sitting behind the level 2 displays. Turn a corner and you start to get a view of Barack and Michelle growing up.
My mother was one of the kindest, most generous people I've ever known.
This is a museum for both the president and First Lady.
I was born and raised right here on the south side of Chicago.
The things that they found common in terms of their values that ultimately led to his political career in the campaign and ultimately election night.
Here you also find more than 400 buttons celebrating the movement ignited by the 2008 campaign.
Yes, we can.
And posters, Obama custom sneakers, even swimsuits created by supporters. Since the museum covers 5 floors and is designed to be an ascending narrative, head next to level 3.
Which talks about the work of the administration.
Barack signing the Affordable Care Act, pushing for climate change legislation, winning the Nobel Peace Prize. And Michelle launching programs like Let Girls Learn, Joining Forces, and Let's Move.
And there's a spot.
Tina Chen is the Executive Vice President of Programs for the Obama Foundation, helping to shape future changemakers. The museum is actually part of their curriculum.
Passage of the ACA as a case study, as we're teaching a lot of our Hope to Action values.
Chen also served in the Obama administration.
You were Chief of Staff for Michelle and Assistant to the President. So I'm curious as to what impact you were able to have, the feedback you gave in creating this place.
There was a lot of collaboration, and what was perhaps the hardest part of doing this was the editing process, right? Because there was so much to cover.
Like on level 4 with a full-scale replica of the Oval Office and surprises hidden in the desk drawer, including a letter President George W. Bush wrote as Obama took over the office. Explore Michelle's iconic fashion, from Inauguration Day to couture ball gowns and that viral Target dress. Level 5 is meant to inspire everyone to find their own way to create change. Here, you can design a custom digital button with your goals.
But then you get to take an express elevator up to the 8th floor, where our sky room is, that has panoramic, extraordinary views of the city that you will not find anywhere else in the city.
With the words from President Obama's speech on the 50th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery, Alabama marches, stamped on the ceiling and sculpted with concrete into the walls.
Our march is not yet finished, but we're getting closer.
A look into the past.
239 years after this nation's founding, our union is not yet perfect.
And hope for the future from the South Side.
Now, the tickets to the museum, they are coveted. It's already sold out through the end of October, so November, of course, is the earliest you can get in if you haven't gotten your tickets already.
But as we pointed out, it wouldn't keep you from coming down here.
Oh, not at all.
There's so much to do. You do need a ticket to get into the museum, but the rest of the 20-acre campus is open and free, and I can envision thousands of people taking advantage of it. It really, as much as we talk about this being a presidential center, it's a community center, which is what the former president wanted.
You talk about thousands. They were telling me that 600,000 people are expected at the museum. Somewhere between 750,000 and maybe 1 million visitors could be coming within the next year just to the campus.
Yeah, there's a lot going to be happening for sure. All right, also here with us today is our Jim Williams and Dana Kozlov.
Yeah, this is such a win for the South Side, and we want to know why it was so important for Obama to build his legacy here. So, Dana, let's start with you. I know you were out here when it was super calm this morning, and now we see thousands in the crowd. Talk to us about what you feel and have seen the impact to be so many people coming out because this is actually located on the South Side.
I mean, that certainly is so important to many of the community members here, to have this here. Of course, it's not without controversy, Jim.
That's right.
As we know.
Preservationists did not want the library and the museum here.
Right, initially. And, of course, a lot of community residents were concerned about, rents going up, et cetera. However, overwhelmingly, I think, and I don't know if you agree, there are so
just
many
talking to people, anecdotally, absolutely,
who just are so happy it's here. Of course, this part of the city so important to former President Barack Obama and his wife. They lived near here. They were very involved, or he was in organizing in this area, the West Side, et cetera. I know this morning, Jim, since I've been here, bright and early. I mean, other than seeing Jennifer.
Tell everybody how long you've been here.
I've been here since about 4:45 this morning, right? And now it's a lot more. There's a lot more action. But I know Jim, I was able to hear Stevie Wonder perform. We saw Jennifer rehearse. We saw Jennifer Hudson rehearse.
She was magnificent, by the way.
Magnificent. I think she's going to be singing the national anthem, if I'm not incorrect. We saw Mark Anthony, but we also, in the crowd, I have seen, we got a glimpse there of Rahm Emanuel, former President Barack Obama's first chief of staff, of course, former mayor of Chicago as well. But we also saw Bill Daley, who was the chief of staff to President Obama right after Rahm Emanuel. I saw Ashley Jackson, who is the youngest daughter of Reverend Jesse Jackson. We saw Reverend, and I talked to Reverend Al Sharpton. We saw Andrew Young. LL Cool J is here.
There's Dwayne Wade there, the great basketball star, Hall of Famer.
I mean, I think it's just one notable and dignitary after another entering this morning. So there's just so many people who want to be here and who've been invited. And of course, we will bring you any other updates as they become available up here.
Obama has always drawn a lot of people from the sports and entertainment industries.
Yeah, well, and so we're seeing some of them today.
We're seeing some of them today.
Not surprising to you at all, Jim, huh? All right, Joe and Erica.
Hey, Jim, before we let you go on this one, it was interesting driving down here all together in our van and watching you point out all of these sites. This is where you grew up. You have a lot of time here in Hyde Park you spent. What does it mean to you to have this open today?
I spent some formative years here, and this is a boost for the south side of Chicago, which is often maligned by people who really don't know the south side of Chicago. This should spur economic activity. There is a concern among some people that we could have gentrification here and they could force out people who need affordable housing, but we got to wait to see how that plays out. But it's inspirational. It's inspirational that the Obamas chose this location rather than Hawaii or Columbia University, where he went to school in New York City.
Right. Okay, Dana, Jim, we'll be getting back to you soon. Thank you.
So when you walk into the Forum building, that's the building that's directly behind us to the right of the museum, you're going to be welcomed by a mural of photos that line the wall.
The work curated by a renowned artist, Theaster Gaze. It's not only a salute to the South Side, but a way to honor the work of a local artist who got his start with Ebony magazine. Our Noel Brennan has their story.
Yeah, that's a classic design.
When Howard Simmons examines his life's work, he sees old photos in a new light.
I keep finding images that are, I can even say, priceless.
Howard has the kind of portfolio he used to dream about.
My story with Ebony magazine began as a fairy tale.
The self-taught photographer had talent. Ebony magazine saw it first, and then the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I was the second black photographer with the Sun-Times.
Now, at 83, Howard and his old negatives have exposure like never before.
And are all of these Howard's?
Yes.
Theaster Gates sees Howard's talent too.
They speak to Howard's archive and the decades that he spent shooting everyday life and notable life.
Theaster creates as much as he curates. The renowned visual artist oversees an archive from the publisher of Ebony and Jet magazines.
I really felt like this was the perfect opportunity to continue to celebrate the legacy of Johnson Publishing and my friendship with a photographer named Howard Simmons.
The opportunity was a special commission for the Obama Presidential Center, an installation to run along the wall of the Forum building's Hadia Pendleton atrium.
And it just felt like, man, this tapestry of the United States is so rich. Maybe this could be a reminder on the South Side in the United States of the power of joy and laughter and free expression.
Snapshots of everyday life rendered on industrial aluminum.
The light catches it and it does something very beautiful. It creates a kind of electricity in the images that I really love.
Theaster revived photos from the archive of the Johnson Publishing Company and the personal collection of Howard Simmons.
I wish I knew exactly where that was.
Theaster chose 6 of Howard's images, including a family favorite.
2 of my daughters as young girls at an ice cream truck. I took that photograph of my girls, and there they are at the Obama Presidential Center.
from a personal portfolio to a public and permanent installation.
That work didn't just have consequence back in the day. That work continues to be resonant.
Now everyone can see a lifetime of work in a new light.
Thank you, Theaster. Man, you've changed my life.
You know, it stands out to me, Erica, is that as you walk through this campus, everywhere you go, everything seems to have a purpose.
Yes.
There's a story behind everything, behind the names of each area, behind the artwork that you see everywhere, and behind all of the photos. There's a reason and a purpose that's part of the whole mission.
For instance, where we're standing now, this is named for John Lewis. And we all know, likely, of Hadiya Pendleton. The atrium right inside is named in her honor. And talk about, I mean, we have artists like Theaster Gates, 28 commissioned pieces of artwork across this campus, and it's really incredible to see that the Obama's passion for art is almost at every turn.
Right, and we just saw the piece that was unveiled of their sort of legacy in life that was done in pictures.
Right.
And then there's the big, huge 2 or 3 story work of art of the city. It's sort of a roadmap of Chicago, and there's just so much great art inside. Beyond the museum, there's so much to see.
All right, now let's take another live look. The crowd's really filling in. We are less than 45 minutes away from the start of the dedication ceremony.
Much more live coverage on the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. We're back in 2 minutes.
I'm asking you to believe, not in my ability to bring about change, but in yours. I'm asking you to hold fast to that faith written into our founding documents, that idea whispered by slaves and abolitionists, that spirit sung by immigrants and homesteaders and those who marched for justice.
January 10th, 2017, President Barack Obama delivering his farewell speech right here in Chicago at McCormick Place, telling Americans not to lose faith in their future. So you hear a lot about how this is more than a presidential library. It's truly built as a community center, a gathering place, a space for people to visit, learn, grow, and play.
Yeah, and a big part of this mission here is directed toward kids, which is why the Obama Foundation formed a partnership with After School Matters. It's a 35-year-old organization that provides opportunities to Chicago teenagers, and here's more on that.
How do you put a value on what you do?
It's really hard to put a value on joy and hope. And so
Mary Ellen Karen has been the CEO of After School Matters for 12 years.
Hope is a popular word around this place, too.
it is, but yes, and it's been a popular word with us for a very long time.
Under her leadership, After School Matters has become one of the nation's largest providers of after-school and summer programs for teenagers. And just weeks ago, the organization announced a partnership with the Obama Foundation to provide many of those programs at the new Presidential Center.
And what did you think when you found that out?
Actually, I am so excited for the South Side of Chicago. I just heard one of our young teenagers say that he was inspired by this place. And so to be able to have our teens access this place with the Obama legacy as well as this building and all that it is, it's unbelievable.
This will be home for a number of After School Matters activities. Home Court, as it's called, a beautiful 60,000 square foot athletic center on campus.
The versatility of what we're looking for trying to build out programming across this campus. Like I said, we're starting with sport and home court this summer, but art, food, media, music, over time being able to scale our programming with After School Matters to bring these spaces to life is really exciting.
Joe Kennedy is the Director of Athletics and Sports Leadership at the Obama Center, a perfect fit considering he played basketball at Northwestern and began his career in public service as an intern for then Senator Barack Obama. That led to jobs as a campaign staffer and ultimately as a special assistant in the Obama administration, supporting Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign,
The World Series champion, Chicago Cubs,
and organizing championship team visits to the White House.
When I had a chance to see that this center was being built, that home court was being built, and that sport and play were going to be at the heart of it, it just aligned with my own personal journey, where I can just speak about myself here, where I believe in those same values that the foundation believes in the power of sport.
Kennedy went on to coach in the college ranks, and it's no surprise to him that home court is a centerpiece of the campus, knowing too well the former president's love of basketball. He reluctantly confessed the two have played some pickup hoops together over the years.
Game of horse, do you think you got him or no?
I don't know about that one.
Really? He's got that much game?
I've got to make sure I maintain my paycheck here at the foundation.
We visited the campus before the grand opening.
When I walked in here, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated, just a little bit.
The center hosted a one-day After School Matters songwriting class in the brand new media center.
I didn't think you would have like all this recording equipment and stuff. It's like I'm sort of fanning out over here.
Demetrius Melton and Heavenly Sims were impressed.
Why not practice?
Especially with the class leader, singer and poet Jamila Woods, who was once in After School Matters herself.
Grow Your Own is the best thing that has ever happened to us. We really encourage our young people, and we have many who used to be in the program, and now they are teaching the program.
After School Matters pretty much says it all, a statement that reflects the purpose and the mission. Kids even get a stipend for taking part.
It's just a big group of people just talking, and you feel welcome. You feel very welcome when you walk into After School Matters. The staff members are very accepting. Your instructors, very accepting, and then they make the program fun. Like it's like, I don't even go there to get paid no more. I just go there to have something to do after school.
This is a one in a lifetime.
Literally,
chance. Like you only get this once.
So all the summer programs, as you might expect,
Yes.
are already full for this summer anyway. But make sure you stay tuned because they're going to add a lot more programs at the center during the school year. And there are other programs still available through After School Matters. You can go to their website to find out more about that.
Just listening to those kids, well, a lot of them now growing up talking about how this is not a job, this is something they look forward to. It's just really inspiring.
Well, it means so much, too, to After School Matters to be able to partner with them and have them be a part of this legacy here at this new Obama Center. So much excitement across the South Side today, from here in Jackson Park to the Midway Plaisance.
Yes, we're expecting potentially 10,000 people right out there. You see, they have their chairs, they are ready to go, and we will be right back.
Presidential Center right here on the south side of Chicago, it's truly a full circle moment. I mean, so much of my existence as a child into high school was driving past this very location where there was really nothing. It was a highway, it was a dangerous place, it was an unutilized park space.
Michelle Obama calling today a full circle moment for her growing up on the South Side and now opening up the Presidential Center here. As much as this means, I'm sure, to the former president, it means as much to Michelle Obama
Absolutely.
as well.
Well, the museum, they say it's for both of them. And you see as you go through each level, it's just as much about her
right.
and her commitment to that legacy. And when it officially opens to the public tomorrow, the South Side of Chicago, well, it will be flooded with tourists. An estimated 700,000 minimum visitors, possibly up to 1 million, as we were saying earlier, expected every year. Dorothy Tucker is back with us now. Dorothy, you've been talking to a lot of nearby business owners who have a message for those tourists.
Erica, the message is very simple. Come to the Obama Center, but stay a while in the neighborhood. Go visit the community. Check out some of the sites because there is so much to see on the south side of Chicago.
Along the lake, Chicago's south side. Just steps from the water.
So starting here at that line,
Danelle Digby's plan,
down to that end bush,
a 150-seat patio,
and back around
outside his South Shore restaurant. Digby opened Napsy Soul Food 18 months ago, inside the South Shore Cultural Center, not far from this place.
The center played a pivotal role because we knew it was on slated, right? It was coming.
Now it's here. And the challenge is to attract tourists to a community that has its fair share of vacant lots, boarded up buildings, and a not-so-great reputation.
It's a perception.
Tanya Trice is the executive director of the South Shore Chamber of Commerce.
I don't believe that the crime is as bad as most people perceive it to be.
In fact, in South Shore, this year compared to last, public data shows homicides down 25%. Robberies dropped 33%. Overall violent crime is down 12%.
Economic development is always the solution to reducing crime. And so we're hopeful that with new investments and new businesses opening, that the crime rate will continue to drop.
Trice and Digby are convinced that South Shore's proximity to the lake, public golf courses, and pockets of black upper-class homes where the likes of the late Reverend Jesse Jackson lived will entice visitors. Digby is also serving up incentives.
So we're going to offer a free appetizer for anyone that comes in with an Obama Center ticket of that day.
Make sure you all come check them out.
Pushing social media.
Bye.
People click, touch, share those posts around the world. We're excited as ever to have it open and be a part of the journey. History to make it.
So we have our painting of President Obama here.
Ivy McQueen manages the Sophie Hotel in Hyde Park.
This is really a new season for the south side of Chicago. I feel like we're almost being rebranded in a way.
It was built 8 years ago in anticipation of the opening of the Presidential Center. The bustling neighborhood has the distinction of being near the home of the former president. That's attracted some tourists, but McQueen is hoping for more.
We want people to not hop on the Metro, get off, go to the center, hop back on and leave, right? We want you to walk throughout the neighborhood, stop and eat somewhere.
And stay a while.
We formed something called the Hyde Park Collective.
The community's 3 hotels, Sophie, Hyatt Place, and The Study, hope to cash in on the conferences and corporate events already being booked at the center.
We're not just telling you Sophie has 96 guest rooms, we're telling you Hyde Park has 400 guest rooms.
The Obama Presidential Center actually sits in Woodlawn, a community suddenly booming with construction. Since January of 2025, 46 permits for new buildings have been issued, all residential. Woodlawn is also home to Let's Eat to Live. It's just 2 miles west of the center, but if you ask owner Carmela Kokmard,
I don't think the tour is going to come this far over. Not at all.
Don't think Kokmart is upset, she still sees an opportunity.
I'm going to take advantage of what's buzzing in the south side of Chicago because people are looking for things to do this summer.
And at this South Side location, you'll find something a little different for the neighborhood.
This is the Eat to Live Urban Garden. This is our farm to table where we get all of our vegetables.
Rows of planting bins are empty now while seeds are being harvested at another location, but coming soon.
These are, what you call that, collard greens. Then we grow all the vegetables that we use in the restaurant.
While tourists are more than welcome.
I'm here for the community. I'm literally here for the community.
And we are in the community in Woodlawn. Back here live, people are still coming in. A lot of folks, it's very crowded here. Again, a lot of dignitaries, but I gotta bring in a couple of people who made it happen. Come over here, join me, because you've been a volunteer for how long?
Since President Obama was before he was senator, when he was just grassroots. And yes, on 130th in the gardens.
In the garden?
Yes.
And you continue to volunteer?
And I continue to volunteer throughout the years. Anything that I can be a part of and volunteer with him, I have been a part of.
And to be here and to see this?
And to be here and to see this in my community, because I live here. And I am gracious enough to also be a campus ambassador volunteer here.
And you, Ms. Lady?
Yes, I am an advocate leader in the Woodlawn community. I live here. I host the Black Wall Street Chicago Festival. So this is phenomenal. It's bringing hopes and dreams, especially to our youth community, right here.
Right here in Woodlawn.
Right here in Woodlawn.
On the south side.
On the south side, yes. The building of hope, love, and kindness.
Thank you, ladies. Back to you, Joy Erica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Oh, my goodness. So speaking of people who are passionate about being here, when I was talking to the VP of Operations, he said 17,000 people interviewed, put in applications for the 150 employee positions that they have to work here inside like the museum and the center. That's incredible.
Let's take a little bit of a look at the crowd, and we'll scan some of the big names who are here. But on that note, Erica, I ran into a volunteer here the other day, and she told me that she and her mom drove by when the Obama Presidential Center was under construction, and her mom said, I'm only sad that I'm not going to be here to see it open.
Yes.
She died at 92 a couple of years ago, and she said, I told myself right then and there I was going to volunteer. So just another great story about the people and the staff and the folks who have volunteered or are really among the lucky ones to get the few positions.
Yes. Now, we are still taking this live look right in front of the podium. We're going to bring in Dana and Jim in just a moment. We want to mention we saw Mayor Johnson, Tyler Perry, performers like Mickey Guyton. We've seen local representatives like, Representative Curtis Tarver is here.
Right.
So,
and then Bobby Rush,
yes,
and
Bobby
Danny
Rush,
Davis, Jan Schakowsky I see over there, and then the national congressional figures as well. Steny Hoyer from Maryland, and also James Clyburn from South Carolina. So everywhere you look, really, it's funny, we're standing next to the still photographers, and you can see them zooming in and just taking pictures of all of the dignitaries here.
And you may hear it now. That was the first official announcement that we've had saying, welcome, please find your seats, because we're getting closer to the start of the program.
There's Gavin Newsom right there. Looks like in the middle. You just see the back of his head. He's
and we did see members of Reverend Jesse Jackson's family here as well. If we can...
There's Stephen Colbert.
Yep, Stephen Colbert.
With his tan suit on, we should point out, I'm sure.
Oh, speaking of that, this is interesting. So I remember when they were talking about Obama's tan suit when I was out here, they said that's one of the only pieces that's not in the museum because he gave it away.
Oh, really?
Otherwise, that one. That one would be here.
Because you mentioned Michelle Obama has a bunch of her dresses here, but
absolutely.
The tan suit didn't make it.
All right, let's head over to Dana and Jim back now with us live. They have a great bird's eye view. They're actually on top of one of the buildings here. So I know, Jim, you were talking earlier to us as we were walking up here before the sun was almost out about how you actually knew the president and the first lady before it was even an inkling that could be something that they were, because of course you worked for Mayor Daley and you crossed paths with Michelle way back then.
I spent 5 years working as Mayor Daley's press secretary in the 90s, and I knew Michelle Obama when she was Michelle Robinson. When she was engaged to Barack Obama, they later married in 1992, and she was salt of the earth, just, as nice as could be, and very, very smart. She was recruited to the Department of Economic Development and Planning by Valerie Jarrett, who has remained a very close friend of the Obamas, was the only person to serve 8 years in a senior role in Obama's administration. And so it's remarkable to see somebody you shared an office with in this position.
Yeah, and Valerie Jarrett, of course, is the current CEO of the Obama Foundation. But, on that note, Jim, when I was a young reporter here in Chicago, I used to chase then State Senator Barack Obama around the state capitol and interview him about issues of the day. After I met him, I found him to be very accessible and very direct when he answered questions, which, you don't always get from all elected officials. They're not always very direct. And then followed his rise, from the state Senate to the U.S. Senate. And looking back, it is remarkable to be sitting here almost 30 years later. And, we're at the dedication of the center.
Dana, 30 years ago, I would remember talking to Valerie Jarrett, and we both said, wouldn't it be something one day if Barack Obama could be mayor of Chicago?
Yeah, I think he exceeded that.
He moved up a few steps from that.
Yeah. All right, Joe and Erica, you got a little insight into the history of the two of us covering the Obamas, or at least knowing them.
Well, one more question on that, since you both did, because there are moments in Barack Obama's career that are sort of seminal moments.
Yes.
And the one that most people talk about, and I know anyone who was there covering it will never forget it, and that's his victory speech at Grant Park.
You were there.
Well, I was there. That warm, unseasonably warm November day back in 2008. It's hard to believe it's been almost 18 years.
I know.
And this event here reminds me of that, in spirit anyway. Of course, the crowds are going to be much smaller here than they were in Grant Park, right down the road here back in 2008. But the spirit, the excitement, the number of media here, amazing. All the national networks, all the national print organizations are here, and it has that same kind of optimistic, hopeful feel that existed in November of 2008.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really do. Joe and Erica?
Well, thank you both. As you were talking about that hope and that optimism, it seems like the sun is actually breaking through. We had a few rain showers and clouds, but now with all the excitement, a little bit of sunshine as well. And we'll be right back with more on the former president's political rise that started, of course, right here in Chicago and ended with the highest office in the nation. 2004, then Illinois State Senator Barack Obama. He delivered the keynote address at the Democratic National Convention in Boston, Massachusetts.
Well, many said that moment actually solidified his future within the Democratic Party for sure. Our political reporter Chris Ty takes a look back at Obama's rise from Hyde Park to Washington, D.C.
There actually are very defined turning points in Obama's career.
I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America. The hope of a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
My name is Lynn Sweet. I'm the former Washington bureau chief for the Chicago Sun-Times.
Few covered Barack Obama as thoroughly and for as long as Lynn Sweet, who first met him in 1999 when he popped by her office.
And he wanted to get to know the Washington scene a little more, so he came and visited me in my office in the National Press Building.
Itching for a larger stage, Barack Obama was 3 years a state senator at the time, representing Hyde Park and Englewood. Next, Obama wanted Washington, came to see Sweet before challenging longtime Congressman Bobby Rush.
It was a very ill-fated campaign and did not serve Barack Obama well because he couldn't really make his case for ousting Bobby Rush, who was a beloved figure in the South Side community.
It would prove to be the only failed campaign of his career.
Then we get to one of the absolute key points in Barack Obama's political career.
We are one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the Stars and Stripes, all of us defending the United States of America.
He became a speaker in the 2004 Democratic Convention in Boston.
Out of this long political darkness, a brighter day will come. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you.
To say he knocked it out of the box isn't a big enough superlative.
A belief that there are better days ahead.
It greased the wheels for a 2008 U.S. Senate run. And when his Republican opponent, businessman Jack Ryan, exited the race over what today would be a minor scandal, Obama faced non-Illinoisan Alan Keyes in the general election and trounced him.
So if the question is Obama lucky in his political career? Certainly yes, and some of his luck he made for himself.
Part of that self-made luck was testing the presidential waters under the guise of a book tour.
It became The Audacity of Hope, which came out in 2006. Here's another pivotal turning point. He went on a book tour across the nation. He drew massive crowds, and it was a test run of how you put together a campaign.
Along the way, his team coalesced, among them Chicagoans David Axelrod and Valerie Jarrett. In the primary, his rookie status helped him against Hillary Clinton.
Not having a record is a plus because people cannot use your votes against you.
In the general election, that lucky streak returned.
Obama met a very worthy adversary in John McCain. McCain had a lot of things Obama did not have. A lot of experience, a war hero, but he also did not have a good campaign.
Yes, we can.
Obama secured twice the electoral votes as John McCain. 4 years later, he would soundly defeat Mitt Romney. But the groundswell that started on the South Side will now be forever memorialized on the South Side.
He was able to create this movement, this Yes We Can movement, back in 2008 that was unrivaled in its time and has never been matched or duplicated since.
All right, we're people watching now.
Oh, we definitely are. And the music, if you haven't heard, it's definitely turned up quite a few notches because it's the Roots. The Roots are playing.
Yeah, well, we just saw Oprah talking with Governor Pritzker.
And Gail.
Gail King is here as well. Who are some of the others? There's Dilla.
Yeah, Dilla, of course, we know him well, our urban historian. We also saw Eric Holder out here. What you're seeing, in addition to the crowd, oh, yeah, you see Oprah moving through.
There we go.
She's feeling the music. So, of course, Roots includes Questlove and Black Thought. And, they've really been so popular popular over the years on late night television, but here at the Obama Center as well.
Yeah, let's listen in for just a minute.
Makes you wanna hustle. Look, change makes you wanna hustle. You're going through a change. Look, makes you wanna hustle. Change makes you wanna hustle. Give it to me. Give it up, then. Go, give it, give it, give it.
All right, it's hard not to, move a little bit when the Roots are, as you can see, people in the crowd, this song, Things Fall Apart by the Roots.
Oh, yeah, the party has definitely started. The Roots kicking us off here for just another few minutes. The program's scheduled to start in about 4 minutes, and that's when they'll bring in the former presidents, including Bill Clinton and also Joe Biden.
And we see here Senator Dick Durbin standing right with Governor Pritzker.
That's right. And George W. Bush here as well, as we understand it. So that's when we'll begin in just a few minutes here. But in the meantime, let's check in one more time with our Darius Johnson over at the Midway Plaisance. How's the party going over there, Darius?
Joe and Erica, it is a party here right now. They are letting people hear the Roots on the screen behind me. There are thousands of people who have made their way here. Again, we know there are about 14,000 people ticketed for this event, and right now I can tell you there are thousands that are already present. It is a joyous occasion for all of those who are here this morning, and while the ceremony hasn't officially started yet, there is already a sense that people here understand that they are a part of something historic. This campus is welcoming visitors from around the world, but the Roots right here for the Obamas are on the South Side. For decades, this community helped shape Barack Obama's story, and today that story becomes part of the landscape marking a major milestone for this Woodlawn and Jackson Park neighborhood and community. Among those in the crowd, there are many people, some we talked to, who tell us that they met President Obama in Selma, Alabama, some during during the March on Washington, some during one of those two inaugurations. And to be here today, they say it comes full circle. Their hope is that many people in the community really recognize and understand what it means to have a sprawling staple like this right here on the south side of Chicago, a place that is giving back to so many people in this community and on this side of town. So again, that official ceremony is expected to begin in just a couple of minutes. The people are seated, they are ready, and they are ready to have a grand old time today and hopefully make their way inside the Obama Presidential Center once they open their doors to the public. For now, we're live at the Midway Plaisance this morning from where the official watch party is taking place. I'm Darius Johnson. Joe and Erica, back to you at the Obama Presidential Center.
All right, thank you, Darius. Now, we do have sort of a top secret. We're not giving you the times, but we have an idea of what the program is going to look like. So we can tell you, of course, in addition to the former presidents, Biden, Bush, the Obamas, of course, we know that Michelle will be speaking. Of course, Barack Obama will be speaking. Coming up at the start of the program, though, we have other special guests that include many musical ones. So we have the Invocation, and then we have Bruce Springsteen, Stevie Wonder. We know that at some point the R&B artist Thames is going to be performing. And we heard earlier Jennifer Hudson, she's doing the national anthem. She also has a special musical performance that's coming up as well.
Let's check in with Dorothy, I believe. Dorothy, are you plugged back in?
I'm here. And, it is, everybody's getting ready. We've got a bunch of folks over here, who are on Stony Island where they've got the special chairs here, sitting down patiently, waiting to be able to, on the Jumbotrons here, they'll be able to actually see the whole program. Many of these people, as we've, told you before, are folks who are, a mix of the CEOs and stuff, but they're also the local VIPs is what I call them. President Obama described the folks who are here as the stakeholders, people that he has known all of his life since he was in Chicago, neighbors, folks who actually lived with him when he was on Greenwood, people who worked in his campaign. These are the folks who are patiently waiting, but trust me, they may look calm and cool now, but they are all very excited about being here. A little bit closer, you've got the other dignitaries and stuff, but it's a great time out here. Joe, Erica, back to you.
So, Dana, is there a special out? I don't have the last page.
All right, Dorothy, I think...
Okay,
I'll be real honest. It's hard to hear anything.
And every time we turn around, there's someone else. Tom Hanks is here.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg just walked in as well with their wives.
Yes, Rita, of course, the actress that's married to Tom Hanks.
So
Alexi Janulius.
Oh yeah, so you know how this is. It's going to be really hard to get everyone in their seats. For an
official start.
Right,
of
everyone's milling around. I mean, we're already a couple of minutes over, but I would expect they're going to try to keep this as close to on time as possible. I don't know how they're going to do it, though, Erica, because they have so many great acts. And based on what we heard in the warm-up, Stevie Wonder and John Legend, they're going to sing a few songs each, it appears. We thought maybe there'd be like a collaboration, but it seems like they're going to each have their own segment.
Behind the scenes, we were talking to different crews, and they said, okay, when you have this many amazing acts, how can you just have one song?
Yeah.
And I think the programmers knew that because they're at least giving two to some of these big names, Jennifer Hudson and John Legend, as you mentioned. So
Springsteen, Bono.
We hear one song and you want more, and it looks like they'll be delivering.
Right. Well, I know you're a big fan of Thames as well, and it's interesting because she has found herself on some of President Obama's eclectic music lists. Every summer he puts out a list of music he's listening to. So that's right. Yeah. Okay. So.
All right. Let's head back to Darius at the Midway Plaisance. There, he said they are finding their seats and they are ready. So in close enough proximity to everything going on here that excitement is spilling all over the South Side. So let's head back over to Darius.
Hey there, Joe and Erica. Good morning to the both of you. And you know, one thing I want to lean into, our Jim Williams spoke earlier about being from the south side of Chicago. Same thing here. So to see something like this, to see all of these people coming together for the Obama Presidential Center is quite beautiful. But again, we know that there is that economic component to this as well. I talk about all the people who are here this morning of all different age groups. However, a few weeks ago, I had a chance to speak to a very special group of second grade students at Woodlawn Community Elementary School, just a couple of blocks away. These students at age 7 and 8, they know exactly what the Obamas mean to them and what this presidential center means and brings to their community. I want you to go ahead and take a listen to that story.
Michelle Obama is a leader because Barack Obama is a leader because.
Inside the second grade classroom at Woodlawn Community School,
These sentences look amazing, second grade.
pencils and crayons scratch across paper. Students pause to think and write about a future they hope to shape.
The students wrote incredible letters about the changes that they wanted to see within the community, the questions that they would ask Barack and Michelle. What's a question you would like to ask Barack and Michelle Obama?
I will ask them, can they sign my shirt?
Why they inspire them and why they think they are leaders.
Michelle and Barack Obama are opening a center. Michelle has a great heart and a great soul. We can learn about him because of the Obama Presidential Center.
For months, they've been learning about Barack and Michelle Obama. Now they're putting those lessons into words of their own.
I'm so happy that the Obama Presidential Center is coming to my community.
In Eden Beswick's letter, she talks about safety, leadership, and her dream of one day following in Barack Obama's footsteps.
It's really cool because then if I become president, I'll be the first black woman president of the United States.
Big dreams from a student who sees possibility.
It makes me feel excited because I love you guys.
In her own backyard.
So I want you to kiss your brains. Ooh, I'm so smart.
In room 107, the ideas are big and the students know what they want. Change.
I would like to change racism.
Good job. Go, go, Cassidy.
I want more community leaders in schools.
They dream of safer streets, a better education, an end to gun violence, and making people feel safe.
I want my community to be safe. I would like to change ICE and find a way to get them off the streets.
At just 7 and 8 years old, these students are already thinking about the challenges facing their community.
I would like to change bad things happening.
But for Janiyah Morrow, the lessons go far beyond the page.
They help us grow more stronger. And Michelle taught us to never give up. And Barack taught us voices strong in front of different faces.
And she already knows how she'd react if the Obamas walked through the doors.
I would scream on my knees.
But until then, they leave the former president and first lady with this plea.
We would love for you to visit us because I want you to read to our class. Thank you for reading what I have to say.
Barack!